Got me nervous there. Okay, here we go, part 3. Okay, so we talk about the pension and everything. Of course, you say you want to make New Brunswickers trust the government, trust the politician. What do you say to the people that were negative? Daniel Alain, CEO of NB Liquor. In my opinion, he would have been great beside you because he's bilingual, he's good personality. Sure. So what do you say to people that says you could have had the chance to do something different on that?
Actually, we are doing something very different. Specifically in terms of our deputy minister appointments, we have started to show how it will be done differently. The Department of Justice, as an example, instead of putting someone in there who's a political appointment, number one, we need to make sure we have quality people in there no matter what. That's the first priority. But what we've done is there's an outstanding woman, Judith Keating, who's been within the Department of Justice for many years, excellent experience. She is acting as deputy minister to allow us the time to consult with stakeholders, groups affected, such as the Law Society, the judiciary, to ensure that we have the type of leadership in the department that we need. With Daniel Alain, with MBLCC, I've given Danielle a very specific mandate. You know, Danielle has an excellent background. He's got an MBA. Yeah. He has experience within the public sector. He has experience also within the private sector. I've given him the mandate to look at the New Brunswick Liquor Corporation.
But that's not a political appointment?
What Danielle has been given is the mandate to look at MBLCC over between now and the end of 2011 to come back with ideas on the future. Looking at, as an example, an opportunity to look at corporate restructuring. How can we be more profitable? Are there ways that we can collaborate with other provinces? And what I've said is we won't leave any options off the table. We'll have a look to see where it's at, including looking at how we hire and put in place leadership at MBLCC, including at the president level. So he's going to be coming back with those recommendations, including how appointments are made.
So he might stay there for a couple of years and come back?
Well, ultimately, he's going to come back with ideas, and we'll make a decision as a cabinet.
He could be transferred somewhere else.
Well, ultimately, he'll have ideas or recommendations on how we should hire. So one of the things that could come back is he could put himself out of a job.
Yeah.
That's okay. Nothing's left off the table. So I believe I am demonstrating the need to do things differently, and really to look at how is MBLCC in its current structure the best way to do it? It very well could be, but there may be other ways. We look at the Atlantic Lotto as an example, where all the Atlantic provinces are working together. To in a more efficient way.
That's good. We've got another 4 minutes. I got to hurry up.
No problem.
Okay. There's one thing you did in front of the legislator that I really admire. Now, you're no fool. You got elected not because of David Alward. Like Frank McKenna got elected because of Hatfield.
Sure.
And you got elected because...
Governments vote themselves out, ultimately.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Now, wouldn't this be a great way, like you want to put trust of politicians to New Brunswickers? I seen you in front of the ledge talk to Jack McDougall.
Sure.
Now, would it be great of you, as Premier, to come out with electoral reform, which is already on the shelf, won't cost a cent, because you always look for cent, and 4 years from now, if some of these people get elected, you could take credit, because they would be in there, would be making more politics.
Look, as part of our platform commitments, we've talked about and really made commitments on how we want to start to change how the Legislative Assembly works. We need to be more collaborative. We need to be focused on the people that we represent, ultimately the people of New Brunswick. And a good example of what can happen is the poverty reduction work that took place over the last couple of years.
We only got 3 minutes.
Where look, different parties, community leaders, business leaders all came together. Okay. one of my commitments is that we will find ways to include all parties in the operations of the legislature. I'll be sitting down in the next little while with party leaders to talk about how we can find ways that they can be engaged in committee work, engaged in the workings of the legislature, engaged in major initiatives that we go forward with. Long-term, electoral reform certainly does interest me. I know there's work that's been done in the past. Those are things that interest me in the future. It's not something that is in my number one priority right now. I want to see the legislature working better for the people of New Brunswick. It hasn't really changed since its inception, but we look at the speed of like information traveling at the speed of light right now. So we need to find ways really to come forward into the 21st century.
Maybe we can allow bloggers back in there.
Look, you never know what could happen tomorrow.
Just kidding. Okay, so electoral reform, sure, we'll talk about it. Two more issues. I'm sure there's some viewers, some on my blog. Autism. What's your view? There's some people around your circle, won't mention any names, that got different views on autism. What's your view on autism? Sean Graham has made great progress for 4 years.
Absolutely.
Do you plan to cut that back? Or?
Look, the work that has been done, I believe all governments make progress in different areas. And if you know, whether it was Luigi Robichaud to Hatfield, to Mr. McKenna, to Terrio, to Lord, to Graham, there have been advances in our society all the way through. We certainly want to continue the work that the base that has been done before. Work that Mr. Justice McKee completed on mental health issues. For me, that speaks to who we are as a society. For me, as an MLA, many people that come through my door, they may come through the doors with an MB Power issue as an example, but there are many, things are complex. There are a lot of things all wrapped up in one thing. Those are things that we have to do more effectively. The McKay report that was completed by Premier Lord and our government, and how we can be more inclusive and really support children with disabilities. Again, those are things that we need to continue to advance.
I believe you. Gas fracking. What's it called? Gas fracking? Fracking, the gas, natural gas?
Okay, sure.
Are you concerned about
fracking, yes.
Fracking? Or
yes,
I don't know what it's called, sorry. I'm just a blogger here.
No.
Okay, is the water safe? Are you concerned about that?
Look, we have a responsibility to ensure that development that takes place, that our citizens are protected. There's nothing more important than safe drinking water for any of us. So as we go forward, we need to make sure that our regulatory system protects people, that development is transparent, is open, that New Brunswickers are engaged as we go forward, and that's our commitment.
Good. And one last question. You went to Switzerland. Yes. Seen you sit down with Jean Charest.
Absolutely.
How's it feel to listen to a nice guy? I met him twice. How's it feel to listen to all these Frenchmen from different? Doesn't it make you feel very nice to be living in New Brunswick compared to the problems with other countries?
Nous sommes vraiment chanceux. No, it's incredible. When I had a chance to be there to represent New Brunswick around the international table, along with leaders of many countries, the issues that people living in many countries, listening to Richard Branson yesterday, we are so blessed as a people, and so many advantages because we are a multicultural society, that we respect each other. And New Brunswick did itself very proud on the international stage in Switzerland. Our artists, our businesses who were there promoted New Brunswick extremely well as well.
And when you sat down beside him, got to ask you, 1 year ago today, NB Power.
Absolutely.
When you sat down with Jean Charest beside him, talk about NB Power?
Look, I certainly did talk. I had a chance to talk about the future of our energy sector and NB Power with Mr. Charest. No different than the messages that we've conveyed over the last year. We want to work collaboratively with Quebec to grow New Brunswick. We've bought hydroelectric power from the province of Quebec in the past. We've sold electric power to Quebec in the past, and we'll continue to do that. We believe that a regional approach with Atlantic provinces and Quebec and New England makes so much sense for the province.
Give me 1 second here.